everyone, and welcome to my session here at VCon, my online session. And the session I'm speaking to today is called Fear, Money, and Time. What holds you back? What holds your customer back from success? And I want to take this time to relate it to dental. Because dental has been the three things in dental that hold people back from success in their dental care, which is actually your health, is fear, money, and time. So we're going to try to keep this in the allotted 30-minute time space continuum. And I'm going to be speaking to dental, but dental is pretty much viewed as a commodity versus something that a person needs. So it kind of brings it into a multi-dimensional experience of showing priority versus a vacation. So this person has periodontal disease and their teeth are rotting out their head, but they have a more value to go on vacation where they party their ass off and waste their money and buy coconuts. The priority is if they don't get the dental cleaning, they're going to have a heart attack and they're going to die. And 9 times out of 10, the person will choose to go to the vacation versus get their teeth cleaned and get the periodontal disease under control. And now they're dead. But at least they got that vacation. So the first step in having a professional business is actually having a business that offers something to an audience. It's not really even value. It actually has to come from the fact that you have integrity, that you're a good business professional, that you actually want to have a long-term career to help and contribute to society. And that right there is the missing link in all influencers. Everyone is literally about themselves. How do I grow? How do I, which is why you're not growing, which is why you don't deliver to your audience. And so instead what people do is they wear an outfit, they do their hair and makeup, and they pretty much abuse audiences to where we actually can't stand each other anymore. We hate people now. You can say all day long that you like people and you like being with people and you like the challenges, but this is a whole new level of the lack of professionalism. We're dealing with devil, rotten to the core individuals that talk and act like clowns, like fake smiling, and it's a glow. It's like putting a spotlight on someone and invading their civil rights. And that's what all influencers are doing at this time. It's completely insane. And the problem is none of these people actually see anything wrong with it. Not only are they destroying other people's lives, some of these people have children that they're destroying, and they're using them as shields, and Shirley Temple laws are being broken, as well as marriages are being destroyed and family dynamics are being withered away, so that a small group of individuals that occur like a large group of individuals occurs like there's a lot of people going viral and succeeding in the business, but it's all the Ponzi scheme network, which we saw at the Olympics. We saw this with Bella Dolan going to the Olympics. Gary and Mona went to the Olympics. Snoop Dogg was at VCon, went to the Olympics. Flavor Flav was at the Olympics, and now he's speaking at VCon. So what they're trying to create is a circuit of the elite with a line to draw so that they can selectively permeate through the people they want to continue that nasty, diabolical, nonsensical, unprofessional language. Unprofessional. It's completely unprofessional. It's not natural living. And then you're forced to hang out with people that you don't even like, but you do it because you like the money. And then they say, well, that's just how life is. And that's the evolution of where we're headed in society. And you will be seeing it here on the grounds at VCon in LA more than you will ever know. And you have to be awake to the reality of being in reality to know that it's not that big of a deal to walk onto the land of LA. They poop and pee just like everybody else, and their homeless situation is out of control. Not to mention you're dealing with a bunch of actors and actresses, whether you go to the coffee shop, whether you go anywhere you go, it's all fake. I experienced a lot of this when I was living in Colorado of a lack of depth within people, that people in Georgia who've never lived, you have to live in a place or be very good at developing yourself into seeing the behavior of others to really understand. And you get the experience by moving from place to place. If you stay in one spot, you're only familiar with that culture, and then you kind of fuel your opinions and ideas. And even people like Bella Dolan she's like completely dead inside. It's like interesting to watch her with this child that she calls her daughter, but that is an example of a dead woman walking. And the same thing for the father. And they are a match because they don't have any depth inside them. But then it's interesting because I've been working with Ellie, who right now Taylor Swift is trying to steal Ellie's joy. And that's how Taylor Swift grows her business, by stealing the light from children. So for example, all Taylor Swift would have to do is go watch a picture, a video of Ellie crawling toward the camera. And then Taylor Swift gets excited about watching little Ellie crawl. And then little Ellie, if she's not strong, which she is strong, she will try to steal that light and that innocence and then go perform in front of her doting fans who are all mentally ill, where then her doting fans who are mentally ill attack the internet. Because it's not authentic in its creation. It's all out of integrity. Because Taylor Swift can't write a song without using someone else to get the creation out onto platform. Where does that come from? It comes from getting an education. It comes from reading books like history books or watching movies, or it's not stepping into someone else's existence. It's stepping back while looking and observing. But see, Taylor Swift doesn't have boundaries. She's completely immature. She's immature, just like her audience, meaning they think they control masses. They were warned that there is a attempt at a attack in the country of Vienna, yet they decided to go out into the streets anyways. And they are getting attacked. So that's on you. But that's the mentality of the world at this time. Nothing more than a bunch of devil children running around trying to control our peace of mind and our peace, while Taylor Swift tries to tell us how we're going to vote. Because she wrote a song, Never Grow Up, 22 Forever. Yeah, that doesn't sit well with me when you're talking about my children's future. Now, we're kind of digressing here, and I wanted to talk more about, actually, this conversation directly reflects on with Donald Trump, with what you're selling on the internet. So I'm selling to a patient, I'm selling dentistry, which to a patient doesn't look like you're selling anything because they don't have pain, they don't have concerns, and it's not important to them. But on the distal of number 14, if I had a pen that worked, there's a huge fracture line that I know for a fact, because I've been working in the field for I don't know how many years, that if they eat the right thing at the right time, they're going to break that tooth, they're going to lose that tooth, and instead of paying $1,000 for a crown, they're going to end up paying either their life, or they're going to be paying for an implant. And that's the same thing with intellectual property. is you're selling on intellectual property. However, the difference between what I'm telling you about my selling or educating on dentistry versus your discussion around intellectual property, and this, I'm very seasoned in both. However, you're not seasoned in intellectual property. You're just making shit up and lying to people. Using your looks and your money bag to show your fancy apartment, and then to use a man or a diamond or a Ponzi scheme to sell on things that you do not believe in. You don't believe in it, you make shit up, and then you lie to people so that physicians, real doctors, real dentists all have to struggle in our everyday life so that you can grow your business. This is for every business across the country and the globe. So we've got people talking about whitening their teeth, but they're not involved in dentistry. The people who are actually involved in dentistry now have dumbed themselves down to where they do not get educated and they just sell you on products. So their integrity levels have declined. So we're in a mishmash of romance as content, which is what we're seeing with Mona Van's content. Her whole content platform is based on how she's an actress and how Gary Vee's her fiance. That's it. And how she travels the globe. That's the most shallow shit I've ever seen and the most disgusting behavior. Yet she'll show her face on property this weekend as if she's better than all of you. Noting that they took the doctor off her name because she's not a real doctor and everything about her is a fucking lie, yet nobody's gonna call her ass out. At least in front of your faces. And so that's bad business. We're talking about time, money, and time, money. What's the other thing we're talking about? Time, money, and that's one of their things that they do. This is a common sense conversation when it comes to business. Time, money, and fear. And fear is what people are selling on the internet. They get you to feel fearful, and then they give you inspiration that's actually more fear, but it lifts you up in emotion. So they're selling fear on the internet, and now you're thriving off of fear, and now we live in a fear-based society. So the reason why people don't like you when you first start out creating content is because you're uncomfortable, you're weird, and you're learning. And that's the whole point. So what happened with this overnight bullshit was an absolute catastrophe. Because you didn't have the developmental skills or the education to grow your business, which is how all businesses become integral businesses. You literally abused millions of people and continue to do so. And then say, oh, well, and then flip your hair. And then got into Ponzi scheme circuits with Mona Van and people at the White Party, and then started following Kim Kardashian's routines to only deliver for yourselves. And then people wanted that for themselves. And so that's your business, is to show off and to create FOMO. But FOMO is a disease. And it's a disease that's caused by another person. It's worse than narcissistic personality disorder, because 99% of people are not actually jealous that you went on a yacht. You make them jealous. This is a new form of FOMO. You make them feel jealous because you're so insecure and you're building fear-based existence across the globe. The bombs from Vienna were happening and were talked about because the Middle East is trying to take over the world. Their energy is the nastiest, most garbage personalities. They're low men on the totem pole. You want to be Muslim, you go live in those Middle Eastern countries, but you better stay away from Israel. This all directly affects politics, which directly affects your existence, which directly affects your businesses. Moving on into the discussion of time. Time is an interesting experience of talking dentistry when it comes to getting people to take time off of work. Why would anyone want to spend 5 minutes looking at your content? Because my content makes you actually do something. So what you want is you want to feel something inside yourself that you're not getting at home, or you're not getting at work, or they're creating at these places to where you want some relief. It used to be movies that were professionally designed to create a storyline, but there is no story in these psychopaths. Now it's all about watch me kiss someone. Like the video of Gary Vee kissing Mona Van at VCon 2022 was atrocious. Every video he's ever done like that makes everyone sick to their stomach, including him. Yet take a look at how she behaves in association to it and how she's evolved in this journey and what she would be capable of if she would have just been given the opportunity to do whatever the hell she wants, as she calls that democracy. So most people don't want to spend the time speaking authentically or honestly or working on things that would have improved themselves, because it's all associated to fear-based living. They don't care about something. They're trained not to care about something because we're in a mass catastrophe of marketing that has everything to do with the worst commercials I've ever seen in my life. No creative talent. Everything's a copy. How do we know? Take a look at movies. So everybody wants it really fast. And they don't want to spend the time. And you're also aware of the fact that if you don't work quickly, someone like Alex Earl is going to get famous and you're not. And that's what happened. But those people like Alex Earl are living in FOMO, who are abusive to their audiences, who actually place them into submission. So all of these things are always there's always a level of this when you're dealing with dentistry, but it's off the charts when it comes to this creation of content, and then even as viewers watching the content. It's a very complex conversation. It's definitely something to visit within your own existence of conversating about it. Are you creating fear-based work environments? 100% across the board, women are, because what I'm realizing here is that women who used to be normal with their partners are now in competition to protect themselves. Because people like Mona Van do not care about anyone else but themselves. They have bots they use as weapons. They have pictures and photography that are subliminally created of manifestation of power to use as control to audiences, to deteriorate you as a person while she smiles in your face and does it in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, where you then subside into relaxation if you're weak. While she shows off money. Money is a huge factor in this game of influence. It's despicable, it's disgraceful, it's espionage, it's collusion, it's corruption, it's gross. There's no gratitude associated to their money. There's no humility associated to their money. So listen to this, what I'm telling you here. We are in a time of an economic stock market crash. There's trillions of dollars we're losing on a daily. You're bragging that you were at the NASDAQ. You put out a video a day ago that you were at the NASDAQ and your life is going so well. And you're videotaping it. You're the reason why I can't put food on my table. You're bragging to millions of people's faces while you do business and brand deals with name-dropping Mona, while disintegrating an audience of Gary Vaynerchuk, who 99% of those people who are real followers live a middle-class lifestyle. So not only are you capitalizing off of Gary Vaynerchuk's persona to bring in your diabolical, nasty Middle East which is Jasmine Star, by the way. That's everything you're watching with this white background is all Qatar. It's all disgrace. It's all disgusting. It's all anti-American. It's all Palestine. These women are completely, utterly clueless, and they have husbands who are paying their way into success to destroy our lives. And the problem is they don't have emotion associated to it. They have money. So they were given the gift of being generous. They brag about how they go to Pencils of Promise. They brag about how they go to the water wellness, whatever that shit is. They brag about these things. They don't use it as a resume education because they don't do anything when they go there. They just put a dress on and do their hair and makeup and then videotape that shit. Wave their money as they always show their bag of their purse, opening and looking in the purse, and then call that content. But the problem is they don't see anything wrong with it. So they're living for small communities in small towns of 45 million people, which is Gary Vaynerchuk's team, but she's working for the Middle East to educate the Middle East on how to be influencers, to overthrow the country. Money ain't shit when you ain't got no life to live. So a Middle East person wears a hijab. A woman wears a hijab, correct? The Middle East is longevity of oil, and they have a lot of history of money. So there's the really poor and there's the really rich. The really rich are horrific, which if you want to do some education, go take a look at what the Shah actually did to his people. He glorified himself and then everything Monovan's doing is exactly what the Shah did. Did not care about his community. Did not give a shit about them. He just wanted to feel empty, which is a white wall behind him. And then say, I know everything and you're going to do what I have to say. And that's what she's trying to portray as she brags about being Persian, as if you as Americans wouldn't recognize that what she's doing isn't democracy. 3 fucking years of this nonsense of her bragging about money. Money brings more problems and a mental psychosis to dissipate the soul into filth and garbage. So what holds people back in the influencer world is money. You can't pay $1 million like Monovan can to make her shit go viral or your shit go viral, but she can, which means there's a hierarchy status of the wrong people in your fucking face. But you don't want to acknowledge that that's a real thing. You want to chase the money bag and be a video gamer and abuse audiences to submission so that you don't have to do any actual effort or work to create something for them. You want to understand what I just said about they don't want to create for you. They want to only look cool for themselves. They don't want to do anything for you. So what's going to happen this weekend at VCon is a bunch of people sitting on stage who think they're better than you. And they've created a dead ass experience of education of saying stupid shit like have joy and happiness. Okay, go out and have joy and happiness without even having joy and happiness. To them, holding a $100 bill is joy and happiness. To them, getting $400 for free without doing any work, that's happiness. It brings you an uplift. Buying a t-shirt brings you joy and happiness. So you're missing out on the entire experience because you're too busy looking at buying shit because we've got the Persian roaming the property and her most important thought about VCon is what she's going to wear. And don't forget about Gary parading her around and holding her hand. That's not a real business professional. They created such a fear-based work environment. This is a work environment you're in. They want to do a lid, a top with no lid, so that you can look good for yourself, so that you can look good for your friends in a popularity contest of bullying where you never opened a book in your fucking life. Where you don't do anything for anyone else but show your dinner plate. And they say eat clean. And there's bread on a plate. And bread is not eating clean. But now you're going to invent it. And then French bread out of France is better than bread out of USA. You're going to talk shit about the United States food system while Saudi Arabia steals our farmland to grow cattle while they steal the water from an American farmer so that you can't put food on your table, but you're going to choose a Persian and a Middle Eastern over an American? That doesn't make sense. But to a Middle Eastern, they'll convince you that that's normal. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Because what we're going to do instead is we're going to give you the love of a Middle Eastern country, which isn't real love. It's control. And that's basically the internet right now. Why is it that you go onto Snapchat and there's all that Palestinian, Middle Eastern music? No fucking thank you. You listen to that shit, if you chant after a Palestinian, you are getting deported. We don't want communism in this country, and we definitely as fuck don't want no Persian, nor do we want no fucking pieces of shit who support Persians. I love watching a woman who's going to talk about how wonderful she is and how hard she's worked when she's got a big bank account behind her back. Your daddy bought you that. 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 You never worked a day in your fucking life. You showing up on a television show where you glamorize yourself is not work. That's not delivering to an audience. So I want you to really pay attention to what I just said. They are showing up like this. Here I am. Now do for me. But you're sitting in the audience having expectations, which you should, that you're going to get information. That they're going to have an education and some form of experience education so that you can go out into the world and create something to generate for yourself of independence. Energy independence, so that you can give to your customer, which if you give to your customer, then what? You actually build a bigger business. Not one that grows from 0 to 1 million overnight, so your life is destroyed. Because that's what these people want. And that's what we're dealing with, is people's lives are fucking destroyed, and they're trying to educate us on happiness. So they say, here I am. That's your payment. Let me tell you about turmeric and vegetables and my diamond ring and my nails. Let me show you myself walking around holding Gary's hand and disrespecting his family. And that's what a Persian does. Look at how pretty I am. I'm so sweet. Look at me and all I've done for you. What exactly have you done? Disrupt our peace of mind and our peace. Reminding you that she has no feeling about that. She thinks she is owed something. And that's how a Persian thinks. So in a nutshell, we're winding things down because I wanted to stay at 30 minutes. What experiences in your existence do you find yourself getting stopped by money, fear, and time? Because those are all excuses of why you can't. All excuses of why you can't do something. And those are the things that people capitalize off of on these stages. They will always be there, these feelings, but that's your prerogative, whether you are going to use it as a skill for you to overcome, or are you going to use it as an excuse to hold you back? Reminding everyone that we're 3 years into this intellectual property and your time is up. You will not be connected to me any longer. And that makes me extremely happy, as I've made $0. I've had zero opportunity to have podcasts to communicate with anyone. I've done nothing but work my ass off for all of you, and I have barely even gotten a thank you, while I've had to watch Gary Vee travel the fucking globe with a Persian as she gloats in my fucking face, and you all supported that shit. Where I'm the American, and she's not American. While you try to just get a free ride for a fucking Persian. I literally have had enough of all of you. So you better mark my words on this. My shit is changing, and I don't give a fuck what you think. Because we know that after this, goes another event, goes another event, goes another event, goes another event with her fucking face in Getty Images, with her wearing another fucking outfit. While she does absolutely nothing but ruin every event that he goes to. So that's going to happen for you this weekend. With all these people that he's invited. So you either are on board to do something about this for your own selves, for your future, or you're just going to go along with it where you will never succeed. So you better get practical. You better use fucking common sense that you learned as an American, and you better be a fucking wizard at this fucking shit. Because you're evil too, just to let all of you know. Each and every one of you have a fucking game that you're fucking playing. And you've abused Gary Vee, and you've abused me, and you've abused a lot of other people, Tyler, Dustin. Talk about immature, ignorant people who aren't willing to do the work that it takes. They literally just want to sit back with their arm on a chair and say, I made it in the business. Now give me more. And that's the mentality of the millennial and Gen Z generation. They don't do anything. They're the worst criminals that we've ever known in history, are millennial Gen Zs. And no one is protecting us, and no one will be protecting you, especially after Monday, because I've done a lot of work to enlighten you and take on a lot of the pain that was directed toward y'all. And you didn't even say thank you for it. You actually showed me a diamond instead. And then you showed the diamond, and then you made a video about it, 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 and you thought that was funny, and you thought that was value content. I know each and every one of you who made a video about the experience of having to go through this shit, where I had to watch the man that I wanted to marry kiss another woman when I was walking the property and I saw it with my own fucking eyes, and you thought it was funny because it was going to fuel your fucking egos. So this ain't no fucking cakewalk, motherfuckers. So you go ahead and you pretend to be happy and shit, but underneath you better be in fucking warrior mode. A kind of warrior that actually makes a fucking difference. And not for your fucking self. For the fucking world. Because I'm fucking sick of these pussy ass bitches with their big fat titties and their boring ass conversation with nothing to fucking say. Yet there they go again with another fucking brand deal. That offers nothing to my children.